Manny Pacquiao is set to make a comeback this July, returning to the ring after a 4-year retirement to challenge WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. The announcement was confirmed by WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman. The legendary Pac-Man has begun his fight camp, and clips of his training are going viral. Meanwhile, boxing promoter Hearn raised eyebrows over the strange and unfolding situation surrounding Manny Pacquiao, questioning the legitimacy and direction of the moves being made around the boxing legend. Hearn expressed confusion at the sudden developments, hinting that the circumstances lack transparency.
You know, I mean, I'm hearing rumors about Barrios against Pacquiao. I mean, what is that for the WBC title? I mean, what is that?
Despite these doubts, Hearn acknowledged it as a highly contentious topic. He pushed back against critics who are downplaying Pacquiao's relevance, asserting that despite being past his prime, the legendary Filipino icon remains a formidable force. According to Hearn, Pacquiao still possesses enough skill to compete with and beat the current top 20 welterweight rankings. However, he was also realistic, noting that age has inevitably taken a toll, and it's no longer possible for Pacquiao to sustain the same explosive power and elite conditioning he once had at his peak.
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's a very contentious subject, like, you know, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, you know, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world.
On the other hand, Hearn acknowledged the complexity of Manny Pacquiao fighting for a world title, even if the former champion still has the tools to hang with the top 20 welterweights. From a commercial standpoint, Hearn admitted the idea is feasible. Pacquiao's name alone can draw massive interest. However, he noted that from a rankings and activity perspective, the meritocratic integrity of the sport takes a hit.
But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not. I think when you've achieved what is achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. You know, and that's why, you know, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually, Pacquiao is a step up, you know, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, you know.
As the debate around Pacquiao's return continues, Eddie shared his perspective on the twilight of a fighter's career, expressing a preference for seeing legends gradually fade. He emphasized that if a fighter still feels good, believes they can remain competitive, and sees a lucrative opportunity on the table, they have every right to pursue it. In Hearn's view, as long as the desire and the business are there, great fighters should be free to chase one last run on their own terms.
So, you know, I like to see great fighters just slowly fade out of the sport, but also at the same time, if they feel good, if they feel they can be competitive, and there's a lot of money to be made, I also get it.
Meanwhile, Manny Pacquiao has officially kicked off training camp, setting social media ablaze with viral clips that showcase the familiar speed and sharpness that made him a global boxing icon. At 45, the Filipino legend is once again defying time, with training footage capturing his trademark flurries and disciplined work ethic.
Sa motor na rin tuturuan. Sa motor na rin tuturuan.
In his latest training clips, Manny Pacquiao delivers a stunning display of blistering hand speed, crisp combinations, and pinpoint accuracy, reminding fans exactly why he's considered one of the sport's all-time greats. He also showcased one of his core exercises in public.
home. They might come today.
Next week. No, sir. Next week.
Sleeping?
Yes.
You're enjoying what he's doing.
Moving on, Manny Pacquiao confidently revealed that even at his age, he still has the skills to maintain his boxing stance. During a media session, he took the opportunity to share tips with reporters, demonstrating how to keep proper form in the ring. Despite his years away from active competition, Pacquiao showcased his enduring knowledge and mastery of the fundamentals.
Don't shadow boxing like that.
Yeah, it's lazy, right? Just kind of...
When you do the shadow boxing like that, what is that for? Because you can apply that habit. You become a habit. When you shadow boxing like...
Woo! Woo!
Like that.
The speed is still there. Woo!
Manny's heavy bag session is a vital part of any boxer's training routine and serves multiple purposes. It helps him maintain punching power by offering resistance, sharpens his technique and accuracy, and boosts cardiovascular endurance, key for someone known for a relentless work rate. By moving around the bag while punching, he also hones his footwork, timing, and ability to cut angles, all trademarks of his fighting style. Beyond the physical benefits, this type of training keeps him mentally sharp, reinforcing muscle memory and fight instincts. In addition, Tim Bradley backed up Eddie Hearn's stance, agreeing that financial motivation is often the driving force behind a fighter's return. He emphasized that when any fighter comes out of retirement, it's almost always tied to money. According to Bradley, regardless of the narrative, comebacks in boxing, especially after time away, tend to revolve around financial gain rather than purely competitive ambition.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Nevertheless, Tim Bradley acknowledged that even at 42, a C game, Manny Pacquiao is still more skilled than many fighters operating at their best. He emphasized that Pacquiao's experience and natural ability continue to set him apart, even with the inevitable decline that comes with age. However, Bradley also pointed out that it's crucial to consider Pacquiao's last performance, where he didn't look his best.
I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous.
Look, Manny Pacquiao is a different animal. Peyton Manning, you know, Tom Brady come out of retirement all the time, and he does what he does. This Manny Pacquiao, yes, do you worry about him? He's facing a young gun, a guy that's fighting at the best of his ability right now. And Barrios, yeah, you worry about that. Barrios is a really good boxer, strong. Look, but it's Manny. Manny's C game, D game is a lot better than a lot of guys' A game. You know, if Manny's coming back, he believes that he can win. You know, it'd be interesting to see.
Despite concerns about Pacquiao's physical decline, Tim Bradley argued that old legends like Manny Pacquiao often need a couple of tough losses before they retire for good. He suggested Mario Barrios could be the one to finish Pacquiao and force him into permanent retirement. However, Bradley also noted that power is the last thing to go, and if Pacquiao still has any of his knockout punch, he could hurt Barrios and win. Furthermore, Chris Algieri praised Manny Pacquiao as a walking legend, emphasizing the incredible legacy he's built over the years. He called Pacquiao a massive ambassador for boxing, highlighting the impact he's had on the sport through both his achievements in the ring and the inspiration he's provided around the world.
It's a no-brainer. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer and has been for a long time. He's a living legend. He's been a walking legend for a long time. You know, it's a massive. He's a massive ambassador of this sport for what he's been able to do, taking on all comers for however many years and however many divisions. You know, an epic career. Preparing for Pacquiao is one of the hardest things to do because nobody fights like him. You can't find anybody who can fight like him because he does everything wrong. You're not supposed to fight the way he fights. Only he can make it work. So trying to find a sparring partner for him was really difficult. I thought I had the right guys. I brought in guys that everybody else was using. Tim Bradley was using the sparring partners that I was using. I had the guys ready, and then I got in there and I'm like, this guy's totally different. He's something.
Adding to the voices, Greg Hackett gave a grounded take on Manny Pacquiao's return, saying it sounds like Pacquiao is trying to cash in one more time, but isn't in his prime anymore. He admitted it's hard to bet against Manny given his past greatness, saying that a few years ago Pacquiao would have dominated Barrios, but right now, with Barrios holding the momentum, Hackett believes he could outpoint Pacquiao on the scorecards, even if he doesn't stop him.
Sound like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios' ass. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might fuck around and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like on some shit like that. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so.
Hackett acknowledged the value of having a win over Manny Pacquiao on a fighter's resume, calling it a major addition. He said that if Barrios were his fighter, he'd love to have a Pacquiao fight on the record. Hackett stressed that facing Pacquiao is no ordinary bout. It's the kind of fight that demands full preparation and total focus.
If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like this. And that's a fight you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a die-hard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Chris Mannix stated that Manny Pacquiao can still defeat Mario Barrios. He attributed the doubts surrounding Pacquiao's abilities to recency bias, pointing out that Barrios' performance against Fabian Maidana didn't impress him. Mannix highlighted that Barrios tends to swell up quickly when hit, suggesting that Pacquiao's speed and power could exploit this vulnerability.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios. Like, maybe it's recency bias. I saw that fight. That Barrios Fabian Maidana fight that was on the Canelo undercard.
Yeah.
I wasn't all that impressed with Barrios there.
Really?
I think when he gets hit, his face swells up pretty quickly, and I think Pacquiao's gonna hit him in the face. I mean, Maidana didn't hit him much with many clean shots, and I thought he still did some damage. I don't think much of him as a puncher, especially at 147.
Okay.
So of all the guys he could fight at welterweight, I'd rather see him in with Barrios.
At the same time, Mannix raised concerns over the legitimacy of sanctioning a fight between a current world champion and a retired fighter who's been inactive for years. He questioned how any sanctioning body could justify approving such a matchup, highlighting the glaring gap in recent activity and competitive standing.
Barrios is at least theoretically winnable. My issue, as it always is with the WBC, like, you're out there ordering, like, all these fights. You're ordering Shakur to fight Zepeda. You're willing to allow a Pacquiao versus Barrios fight to move ahead. And yet, you continue to just sit with your hands on your butt while David Benavidez twists in the wind. Like, that to me is the biggest issue with all this. Like, how can you as a sanctioning body allow a fight between a active world champion and a guy that hasn't fought in several years? That to me is an outstanding issue.
However, Tim Bradley responded to the criticism by pointing out that, at the end of the day, boxing is a business. He said sanctioning bodies and promoters are going to do what benefits their pockets, regardless of fairness. With commentators discussing the matchup and fans fully aware of the imbalance, Bradley emphasized that while it may not be right, it's how the sport has always operated.
It's all about money, man. This is a business at the end of the day. You know, these guys are going to do whatever is best for their pockets. So not pushing a fighter like Canelo to fight Benavidez, I mean, they're going to lose out on money if they push the issue. If they push the issue too hard, you know. But us being the boxing fans and being the boxing pundits around and kind of talking about it, and being commentators and so on and so forth, you know, we understand that it's unfair. You know, but it's always been that way. The top guy always get the royal treatment.
Meanwhile, Mario Barrios' trainer, Bob Santos, stated that Barrios is the kind of fighter who embraces any challenge the sanctioning bodies put in front of him. He emphasized that Barrios doesn't shy away from tough matchups and trusts the sanctioning bodies to make the decisions. Santos made it clear that they'll leave the matchmaking in the hands of the organizations and be ready for whoever comes their way.
To be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's, Pacquiao, Spence, if that's a unification with Boots, Ennis. That'll be up to them. But I do know one thing about Mario Barrios. Whatever they present him with, he won't turn it down. He'll leave it to them to make the decisions. You know, there's a saying in the sport, and I learned a long time ago from my cousin: let the promoters promote, let the managers manage, and let the coaches coach, and let the fighters fight.
Adding another layer to the narrative, Amir Khan revealed that Manny Pacquiao reached out to him about the possibility of a fight. Khan said he responded by asking if Pacquiao could get someone like Turki Al-Sheikh involved to handle the promotion and secure the financial backing. If that were possible, Khan made it clear he'd be open to making the fight happen.
But then Manny got in touch with me as well. Manny was like, shall we do a fight? He's quite serious about it. He was like, should we make a fight happen? I go, listen, if you can get a funder, if you can get someone like a Turki Al-Sheikh on board, then why not?
There's no, I mean, that must be able to be made. That, yeah. I mean, surely
you do that for the right money, right?
Massive. Look, we've had our best days, and I think a fight like that would definitely sell.
In addition, Khan highlighted that both he and Manny Pacquiao still have strong fan bases, and if they both return together, the fight would undoubtedly generate solid interest and sales. He noted that since both have been out of the ring for the past 3 to 4 years, it would be a competitive and appealing matchup between two retired stars.
I mean, Manny having a massive Philippine fan base and all around the world really, and then obviously myself, I've got a decent fan base as well, so I think it will definitely sell, and people would like to see, when people make comebacks, I mean, people always like to see how the fight's going to be, and me and Manny are probably in the same position. We'd be both being retired for like 3-4 years. I think it will make a good fight.
And you're only 38 as well, man. So we've seen boxers older than that getting back into the ring. I mean, you're still at a good age where you certainly could box again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at George Foreman, the late George Foreman. He was a great champion, and he came back. I think he must have been in his late 40s when he come back and won a world title as well.
Despite the allure of such a fight, Amir Khan expressed serious concerns about making a comeback after years of retirement and enduring sustained head trauma throughout his career. He acknowledged the high risk involved, emphasizing that it only takes one punch to cause lasting damage. Khan reflected on how fighters like himself and Manny Pacquiao have always been prize fighters, but now the potential consequences, especially the risk of not being able to enjoy quality time with family, are far more daunting. At this stage in his life, he admitted that the dangers of returning to the ring genuinely scare him.
In boxing, it's always that one punch. And at the same time, though, guys, is that I look back and think, do I need to get back in the ring again? You know, we've always been prize fighters. I've always taken punches to the head. It could just be that one punch that hurts you, and God forbid you get hurt and you can't spend good quality time with your family. So that's what scares me more than anything, you know what I mean? But look, I do miss it. I miss the banter I used to have in training camp, going around different locations. Sparring partners used to come from all over the place, all over the world. Then the media hype, and also the press conferences, the weigh-ins. I do miss that.
As Manny Pacquiao gears up for an unexpected return, the boxing world watches with a mix of awe, skepticism, and in nostalgia. Whether it ends in triumph or closure, the legend's final chapter is already stirring global debate. One thing's certain, Pacquiao's name still commands the spotlight. Join the conversation in the comments. We want to hear your take on Pacquiao's comeback. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth boxing coverage. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a fight update or exclusive insight.